Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to part 3 of the series, The Old Becomes New. Really excited to share this part of my journal and my story, everything that the Lord has done for me over these past few weeks with all of you guys. To do a short recap, if you guys remember in my last video was about a tree's formation, and that essentially from a seed will come the roots, and then from the roots will come the base of the tree, and then from the base of the tree will come the tree stem, and then from the tree stem will come the branches, and then from the branches will come fruits, right? That was the gist of the last video. But in today's video, we're going to go over exactly what the Lord shared with me about what he says about fruit trees and their seeds. He says something very, very specific about fruits, their seeds, and the trees that they create. Very specific. And the sneak peek, I don't know if any of you guys decided to read Genesis chapter 1, but we're going to go over it today. But just one verse, not the whole chapter. We're going to go over Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. And like before, please bear with me. I'm just going to read from my journal. I want to make sure that I share everything that the Lord has shared with me, with all of you guys. So bear with me as I look over here and just read to you what the Lord has shared with me. So Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself, upon the earth," and it was so. I'll read that one more time. Okay, this is what the Lord specifically says about his own creation, about fruits, about seeds, and about the trees. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself, upon the earth," and it was so. This means that a seed will produce a tree, and then that tree will produce a fruit. The fruit will be the same as the tree it came from, and the fruit will have seed of itself within itself. For instance, an apple seed will produce an apple tree. An apple tree will produce apples, and apples have apple seeds within them. That's something that, we all know. I have an apple seed, I plant that apple seed and I water that apple seed. I should not be surprised that an apple tree will grow, right? And then from the apple tree growing, it's going to produce apples, right? That's the fruit it's going to produce. And then from that fruit, the Lord tells us that the fruit will have its own seed within itself. Hence why apples have apple seeds within them, right? Okay, so not only will a tree produce fruit, but also that fruit will have seeds that can be used to plant even more trees. Seeds that, if watered, will sprout more trees, which will sprout even more fruits. From only watering one seed, one could produce a garden full of those same trees with an abundance of fruits, which is why it is incredibly important to plant and water the type of seed for the type of tree one wants to grow, so one can have the type of fruit one wants to eat. For instance, if one wants to eat oranges, it is unwise for them to plant and water apple seeds. Right? It doesn't make any sense. Like, if I went to you guys and I was like, "Hey guys, I want to have oranges, and my grand idea is to plant and water apple seeds," you'd be like, "Why are you doing that?" Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Any sense whatsoever. Right? So if I want to eat oranges, I need to plant the seeds that come from oranges. That's what I have to do, right? And then, as the Lord says, we reap what we sow. Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. If one sows apple seeds, they will reap apples. So we must not deceive ourselves. God is not mocked. Whatever we sow, that shall we reap. I planted and I reaped. So that is the story for today. Because now the next question is going to be, well, what the heck did Cornelius plant? Right? And that's going to be in another video, right? But today's video is just about what the Lord says about fruits, their seeds, and the trees. This is very, very important for us to understand. Just like it was very important for me to understand that, number one, I also had two trees in my life. Just like there were two trees in the Garden of Eden, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, I too had two trees in my life. I had an old tree and now I have a new tree. And what the Lord helped me to realize was the seed of that old tree, the roots of that old tree, the tree stem, the tree base, the branches, the fruits, and the seeds that were in those fruits. I had to understand all the, metrics or the aspects of that old tree, so that way I do not plant and grow something old in something new. Right? If the Lord brings me to a new place, one of the worst things that I can do is to do the same old things, to bring the old into the new. If I bring the old into the new, I should expect the same old thing. You see what I'm saying? So this is what the Lord says about fruits, about seeds, and about trees. That whatever the seed is, from that seed will come the same type of tree. And that type of tree will produce the same type of fruit. And that fruit will have the same type of seed that can produce more of those trees. So that's why it's very important for us to understand, what are we planting? Just like it was very important for me to understand, what was I planting? And that's what the Lord helped me to realize. But I'm going to go over the specifics of that in a different video. Today is about what the Lord says about fruits, trees, and seeds. Really happy to share this stuff with you guys, and I hope to catch you in the next video.